There are many stories of chivalry, where the heroic knight saves a damsel in distress. This is not one of them. Oh no, oh no, 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 no. This is something far, far, far dumber. Far. Damsel is a Netflix original from director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo, who did 28 Weeks Later and Intruders. And that's a pretty good positive first step, because 28 Weeks Later, some people thought it was just as good, if not better, than 28 Days Later, improving on the concept that we saw in 28 Days Later. And we go 28 Weeks Later, and now we're getting a sequel to the 28 Later franchise. Why? I don't goddamn know. They want to milk that franchise dry. This does not look like milking at all, but yeah, 28 Weeks Later. I mean, that iconic opening sequence where, man, that guy was just full-on dick, abandoning his family. I'm sorry, I love you, I'm running to safety. I'll never see you again. Then that bit him in the ass. Well, not in the ass, but you get the point. But yeah, 28 days, 28 weeks later, two power-packed horror movies that kind of put a different spin on the zombie subgenre. That has nothing to do with Damsel, but also Mr. Fresnadillo, that I kept trying to not add another D to the last part of that name. I'm sorry, I'm immature. He also did Intruders. They had Clive Owen in a foray to horror that actually turned out pretty good. It wasn't necessarily great, but had a pretty good concept and actually played out pretty well. Unfortunately, the only horror that you're going to find in Damsel is with the writing by Dan Mazzao, who did Wrath of the Titans and Fast X. So all the positives were just immediately thrown to the goddamn wall and then beaten like a goddamn rug. And yeah, from there, we talk about the cast. Millie Bobby Brown plays Elodie, who is a headstrong young woman that don't need no man, but her parents feel that she does need a man because they need money and they need to survive. So her father, Ray Winstone, who has been in such better movies than this, what the fuck happened to him? And her stepmother, Angela Bassett, who is going to be 66 this year, and apparently has either discovered the fountain of youth or the blood of the impotents. I think that's how that phrase goes. And also, she has a younger sister, played by Brooke Carter, who's called Floria. Floria, she's going to be on the run soon. Floria, I don't want to get drunk like Laura Branigan. Floria, I'm so mean. What the fuck? Floria, That's mean. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why? What is wrong with me? Let's talk about more what's wrong with Damsel, because, yeah, Damsel has pretty much everything wrong with it. Like, from a storyline standpoint to the fact that it's such a basic bitch, it's bland, it's banal, it has some terrible special effects. And the concept has basically been done before in a lot better movies. And it's basically just like a medieval version of Ready or Not to a degree, and I will explain why in due course. Elodie agrees to marry to help out her family, and it turns out that this royal family has made a pact with an entity, shall we say, to have wealth and absolute power. And we find out more about that pact and everything in due course, even though it's pretty obvious what the hell's going on. The opening scene actually made me think that I had made a terrible mistake, and none of the rest of the movie disproved that, because that was a terrible opening scene with some terrible acting. And, well, I'll say this much. They certainly tried. They tried to make this movie. They just made absolutely goddamn shit. Mr. Fresnadillo, by the way, has done better movies, as I talked about. He was tasked with a $70 million budget, and Netflix said, please do this. We need somebody to get this IP out there. Maybe Millie Bobby Brown, after doing Enola Holmes and Enola Holmes 2, Electric Enola Boogaloo, maybe she can bring her star power to this. Well, she brought her star power, she just didn't bring in any effort, because after a little bit, yeah, you could tell she was just giving up on this, and I don't blame her. I don't blame anybody for giving up on this. Why was Robin Wright in this? Did she have to make a pact with the devil after doing good movies for so long? Nick Robinson plays Prince Henry. No, not that one. Henry! I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. But yeah, we have that opening line, or those opening two lines I said in the intro. And yeah, the opening scene's ridiculous, and then centuries later we get all this build, and then Millie Bobby Brown has to fight her way out of a cave from the, and fight this entity, because she was she's being tasked with being sacrificed to keep this pact going, and it's stupid. It's really fucking stupid. It is absolutely terrible. This is like enough material for maybe 50 minutes, and they stretch this motherfucker out to like an hour and 50 minutes with end credits. It is terrible. It is putrid. There's some terrible acting, and while, yes, it should just be seen as entertainment, the key word there is entertainment, and this movie has none. It has absolutely none. And Angela Bassett has been embarrassed up in this. Robin Wright has been embarrassed up in this. Nick Robinson looks familiar. I can't necessarily place him, but I'm sure he's been embarrassed up in this. And Millie Bobby Brown, who got her first taste of success and mainstream stardom with Stranger Things that I have not seen a bit of. I probably should watch that at some point just to see how it is. Yes, kill me in the comments for not watching Stranger Things. There's only so many hours in the day and hours in the year. But that being said, yeah, Elodie is all headstrong and does this, and yep, she has to battle her way through this cavernous system that seemingly just houses a bunch of different, like, mini worlds. It's like Super Mario World. It's actually insane. Yeah, the movie's bad. It's really, really apocalyptically bad. You can watch it. Maybe you'll feel differently. I'm going to get into spoilers. Not that you could spoil much of anything in this movie because the plot is so goddamn shit. 3, 2, 1. This is your warning. Spoilers. So, yeah. There's a dragon there. There's a dragon. A dragon torches the king, or torches the king's guards. And there's a reason for this, because it turns out that the king in the opening scene and his guards killed 3 baby gold dragons. Why? Fuck you, that's why. And then the king made a pact, basically, to give youth, the youths, as it were, the women to the dragon in exchange for wealth and power. And then centuries later, we go to where Elodie is. How many centuries? I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. And the movie didn't care either. The kingdom of Areola. I think Areola's better, because everybody was a fucking boob and an absolute tit in this. Ray Winstone, by the way, terrible, just marries off his daughter. Yeah, we can't actually work for our money. We're just going to marry you off. You don't want to do this. Again, Angela Bassett is going to be 66 this year and looks incredible. So, yeah, they try to make it look old-timey. $70 million, and this is the best they could do. A lot of green screen effects and a few lavish landscapes. They went to the cave after the marriage really quickly. I think within like the first 25 minutes we were there. 10 minutes in, we get the opening credits. This is a trope that needs to stop. And I noted, I bet they're keeping a bunch of princesses there for this game or whatever it is. And I kind of was maybe half right. I'm not necessarily certain. Is everyone on sleeping pills is what I noted. The royal family is very callous, basically blows off any, association the stepmother wants to have with them. This was a mistake. Ray Winstone says, no, we really need this. Lord Bayford is their name, but just calling them by, their actor names is somehow less stupid. And, yeah, they make a blood oath. They go to a cave, make the blood oath, and then he tosses her in the goddamn cave. She somehow manages to survive falling through a bunch of shrubbery with a herring. No, not a herring, but a dagger that they put in her bodice to keep things straight. No wonder women in medieval times were uncomfortable and wanting to just maybe go with women. Because A, that's probably how they felt, and B, the guys were making them dress up like idiots. So anyway, yeah, the pact is you have to give up 3 to, honor the dragon god that will then let you live without torching the goddamn island. So, after she falls into the pit and has injuries, she must fight her way out. There's dark cave forests and flaming birds, and then this dragon talks to her in a really dreadfully bland tone. It's a basic bitch of a movie. And then she manages to put a flame in this necklace and go around, and then, oh boy, my claustrophobia kicked up with a cave scene. And then she's just in this cave this whole time. She sees that there's a cave system going on. There's like these weird cave leeches that are like glowing, that have healing properties. So they heal her eventually. She keeps a bunch in a bag and sleeps with them, I guess, for a nightlight. And then the dragon eventually shows up after hunting her briefly. She then does this, and then the dragon shows up. Then she tries to escape after seeing that the various princesses have made it to this point and are writing out escape paths. She gets up this crystal cave, and then, literally a crystal cave, and then sees, oh shit, I would have to drop to my death to actually get out of this cave. So she doesn't do that. But then she yells because she sees people on horseback, and it turns out to actually be her dad. By the way, I do want to say that everybody that was playing the ghostly princesses certainly tried their best. They just weren't given anything to do. Then the dad basically gets killed. We then see that the flashback of what the king did, killing the 3 gold dragons and then making the pact. These dragon effects are terrible, by the way. And the father apologizes to Elodie. He gets killed. And now she's pissed, but she manages to get out. And then the dragon starts setting fire to the mountain and is setting fire to all this stuff. And then they take Floria back to the cave and throw her down there. And somehow she survives. Everybody in medieval times apparently was made of titanium because they can survive this shit. And then stepmother warns Elodie. She says, I have to go rescue her. They tossed Floria into the cave really quickly. And she wants to tell the truth. That she's not royalty. That all this stuff has just been with a blood oath. And that some of the blood has gone in, so they make them... So they're just offering innocent people. And the dragon is none the wiser. And then Millie Bobby Brown gets torched and stabbed. Somehow manages to stab the dragon multiple times. And we are to die alone. This movie should have died before it ever got filmed. And then there was this hilarious scene where there's this funnel part that apparently the dragon can't see. Launches fire. The fire curves back up like it's a turnpike. And flames the dragon, and the dragon is dead. Dragon basically says, end it. You know, she stabs it. Stabs the dragon, the mother dragon. But then puts the glowing leeches on it. She's rescued Floria. She goes and stops another marriage and says, oh yeah, by the way, the dragon's with me now. And the dragon torches the castle. And then they leave. And she leaves with Floria and everything's good. Oh yes, and then by the way, we get an epilogue because we haven't had enough of this bullshit. And... She tasks Angela Bassett to be in charge of the village and take care while they go back and rebuild the kingdom. Why? To honor the dragon or because we need a sequel? Do not fucking do Damsel 2. Do not fucking do that. This movie is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It gets an F. It's bland. It's a banal, basic bitch. That's all I gotta say right there. It's terrible. Very terrible. Even though the cast tries, it is very terrible. Agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.